Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of your Daily Dose. We are on, of course, God of War's account, the Nation of Shu. And we are testing out Pangtong. And I have to say, I've been playing around for a little bit of the day with this one, probably about a half an hour, trying to suss out some things to work on him. And I'm going to say this, don't run him with a Rage Ultimate ability. He really doesn't need that. Sadly, he's just so squishy. But it's probably because, if I'm going to be honest with you, it's mainly because he's fighting other nations that are around 3 trillion power. So of course he's going to be a little bit squishier. So we're going to go and put the Dragon Blade back on him so that he can survive a little bit longer for him to actually do something. Of course, Oda, you can have your weapon back because that makes sense. All of these things keep popping up, yada, 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 yada. And then, of course, we can go this, and we'll just throw your co-ops in there. But we're back to where we used to be. What I will say, though, is Murray surprised me with the damage that this guy can actually do. Pleasantly surprised. Are you running... What are you running? You're running Dragon's Breath on you. You're running the new Mythic on you. I mean... It works. It definitely works. I don't think you need to run the deer on Pangtong, to be honest. You can run Raidbreaker because it makes sense for him. Ultimately speaking, though, I mean, if we're going to go through and talk a little bit about his skills and his abilities, I mean, his base form at 2-star, he has that much accuracy. He has some interesting levels of evasion. Crit resistance, of course, is quite high. Overall, I mean, he's a pretty stock standard hero. I have to say that from my testing of him compared to the previous video of Big Mama Q. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check that out on the channel. She's like light years ahead in terms of utility compared to Pangtong, unfortunately. I'm sure that later on, with given that he's still 1-star, I'm sure later on he'll have a little bit more potential. But essentially, he is an AoE hero. He does healing of the lowest hero in your nation. I wouldn't slot him slot 1. That's a big mistake. Don't slot this guy slot 1. He's actually not meant to be a slot 1 hero. He does give accuracy. He has abilities called Iron Shackle. Essentially speaking, enemies that have more than 30% HP receive extra damage. Makes sense. He does do a lot of healing. He does a lot of damage bonus. Iron Shackle is a preventer, and also is sort of like a reflection. It kind of works out to be a reflection skill, but basically enemies take 10% damage as well. And of course, that goes through everyone that has Iron Shackle. Phoenix Ward, again, is like a healing and a shield ability. It's interesting because late game you can't really tell too much because everyone has a shield and everyone really heals pretty much through all of the tactics anyway. But at the end of the fight, you'll see exactly what he does. Iron Shackle, again, inflicting Iron Shackle. It's I think it's meant to cripple the enemy, but I really don't see it doing very much in terms of utility, unfortunately. It's not like a control ability, which kind of sucks. I mean, if this guy basically did like a mandatory round 1 attack prevention instead, like Iron Shackle really doesn't do that. Basically, it just does extra damage to that target. Phoenix Ward is interesting again, like there's that shielding effect. His ultimate ability and his passive ability is called Chain Reaction. So basically, if you have a couple of people that are Shu heroes, you only need 2 of them, which is kind of cool. You get Phoenix Formation, you get Reforged Chained ability, but he has more accuracy. He has more of an ability to essentially remove control effects from himself and a random ally. He does have a healing ability and he has a rage regeneration ability. Now, it's important because his passive, his Phoenix Formation, is revolving around rage. So, increases all allies' damage reflection by 40%. Every time a hero ally attacks, for every rage point the ally has, they do additional true damage attack. So basically, the more rage that your SHU Nation guys have, the more damage they do with the Phoenix Formation. On the 3rd round, every rage point ally has, the damage will be increased by 5%. So, like, sort of, 3rd round is where you get an additional boost. It goes up to 10%. It's not a lot, but it is an additional boost. I mean, if Xiaoyan is still alive by that stage, he's going to do a lot more damage. But what I see the biggest issue that I see for Shu Nation is that their entire party revolves around Zhao Yun, and that's the biggest issue that they have at the moment. And he's a hit and miss hero, and you'll see in a couple of fights what I'm talking about. The Iron Shackle lasts the entire battle, and of course that's just it's just basically a debilitating. It doesn't do very much though. That's the problem. That's my biggest issue at the moment. Why I'm a little bit underwhelmed. We'll show the ultimate. He attacks everyone. He does Iron Shackle. He does some healing ability. He does all that sort of stuff. He procs Phoenix Formation, which lasts and stuff like that. Maybe at 7 star. Maybe at 7 star it does something a little bit better. Magic damage, 50% chance to inflict Iron Shackle, 30% HP. The 2000, so you see, the 2400 extra damage isn't too bad. That's kind of bursty. I can see that being some, damage potential there. 50% shield point, not too bad. 70% chance to remove a stat debuff. Again, not too bad, removing the stat debuff, but he doesn't shine as much as I thought he would shine. So let's just jump into it. Unfortunately, there's not too many that we can fight around the 3 trillion bracket. We can kind of have a look and see if there's any of the older accounts. These ones haven't been updated yet. Guild Arts will kill us because he has Xiaoyan in slot 1, and you cannot beat him. The only reason is because his Guild Arts is Guild Arts built his Xiaoyan very well. His Xiaoyan is the carry hero for Shu. Okay, if we can't find anyone here, let's jump into Glory Hall. Let's have a look at the rankings for cross server. There are a couple here. I mean, we can essentially fight him, sure. I mean, it's not going to be an issue. We can give him a fight, sure. Why not? But at the same time, like he's not going to win. He's not going to win. If he does win, that'll be cool. Let's just check out the formation before I do that. So we're going to run Zhao in slot 1. I'm going to run Mori slot 2. Wei Yan is going to be in slot 3. Pangtong, I'm sticking up the back just so that he survives a little bit longer. His main issue at 1 star is survival. Well, let's just find him. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There's a couple that we will be fighting today. Guild Arts. I probably went past you, didn't I? Oh yeah, I went past you for sure. Vinny, all good. Semet, Franco, Saint. Do I need to start again? One shot, Master Office. Man, now I can't even find the guy. That's embarrassing. Taki's in there. Yeah, we all know who Taki is. Franco. Ugh. I think he's the strongest one out of all of them. He's only at 6.5 trillion. Crazy. Semet catching up. There is Guild Arts. They're okay. Let's fight him. But just so you know, this guy, he's scary. He's scary as heck. Let's see. Let's just see. Oh, nice. He's got his MC to 5 star as well. I actually need to do that. I should probably stop being lazy and get him to 5 star. Oh, yep. I told you. I don't know. There's something about this guy and he's freaking Joe. And one thing is interesting, and I'll show you in another fight, which is kind of the downside to it all. Um, Mori's tanky as heck, though. I'll give you that. And of course, he's got the Pixiu's immunity. I'd like to see him do some damage, though. I'd love to see Pangtong do something, but I think he's silenced from that freaking halberd. He's not going to do it. He's literally not going to do anything. But like I said, it's kind of pointless fighting Guild Arts. Yeah, he's not going. He'll take a beating, but he won't do anything. And of course, yeah, we knew how that was going to end. Let's just keep going. There's one that we have been fighting a little bit that I test against on this account, and that is UV. So let's give you a go. So will show you. You have an elephant ranked Xiao Yun, who's an absolute monster. So, fair warning. You're also running Shingen, which is very interesting. You have Mori as well. Pretty stock standard nation, though, being a Shu nation. Like I said, the entire nation revolves around old mate Dragon. If Dragon, if Dragon fucks up, you're all dead. But what you're going to see right now is once he gets the shielding effect up, so the enemy team's going to have a shield up in a second for their fire deity. Now, your Zhao Yun is going to fight them, and he's probably going to kill himself. And that's the problem. That's the biggest problem that I saw was that sometimes with the fire deity, if you go first, you pretty much are just going to get annihilated. And it's the weirdest thing. It really is. It's very, very frustrating because you're like, surely we should be able to defeat that. But no, apparently we can't. And of course, his nation is just a lot tankier. I'd say he has probably higher PvP resistance as well. That's my guess. I'm going to go with some guesses there. Because I'm pretty positive they almost have equal things in terms of artifacts, equal things in terms of monsters, and of course tactics and stuff like that. So the only difference is going to be A, RNG, and B, it is going to be that they have different PvP resistances, which is kind of huge. But yes, if you are going to build Zhao Yun, if you are going to build him, I would reiterate this to everyone that thinks Shu Nation is the best nation. It's probably not. I'm not going to lie. They probably would die to a lot of Wu teams. But if you're going to build him, make sure you build him like this, guys, because he's an absolute monster. An absolute monster on this account. Shackle. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. So you did do some sort of control and you died. Does Shackle prevent Mori from attacking? Yes. No, it doesn't. There you go. So even Shackle doesn't prevent them from attacking. It's just a visual representation. But there you go. His Yone absolutely popped off. Pangtong doing some damage, not gonna lie. Like I said, he really is more of a backline slot hero. And I think that's got a lot to do with the meta that you're currently fighting in. But let me know in the comment section down below who do you think Morris? Well, who do you think you should run with the Shu Nation team? Now, again, this is the pinnacle of perfection. If you can get a hero like this, if you can build Zhao like this, you probably will never lose a fight. Um, it's pretty unattainable for a lot of people though. So don't worry, I absolutely know the hate that I would get from those comments. But he's maxed this guy out. This is super impressive. But in saying this, look, if you do this with Gong Sung, he's also going to be an absolute monster. He's going to wipe out 2 columns round 1, guaranteed pretty much. Um, yeah, it's very impressive. Very, 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 very impressive. Let's see if we can find some other ones as well. I'm just not feeling it with the Shu Nation, man. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it like I did with Big Mama. I'm not gonna lie. Big Mama had a lot of potential. She had a lot of potential. Is there anyone else that's close? I don't feel like there's literally not too many players that we can fight against, which kind of sucks. Let's verse ourselves though in the where are you? Let's fight ourselves in Enemy of the Gates and then call it a day. Of course, our formation is different. So this is slot 1 Pangtong. So this is the old formation that you were running. So you're going to see that we're going to be running it a little bit different. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully somebody wins. Of course we win because it's our account versus our account. But hopefully we win still. uh yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see why you run Jade Halberd on him. Outside of that, I don't feel like he's gonna survive very much. Interesting though. That mute ability is freaking annoying from Sky Piercer. Uh, is he going to pop up one more time? Yes, he is. He still can't. He can't kill Pangtong in the back row though. It's interesting. He really is a hit and miss hero, isn't he? Of course, evasion. Pangtong is going to go this time, which is going to be interesting. Didn't put Shackle down though. Huh. Greedy Guts versus Greedy Guts. No damage done to Pangtong. What in the world is going on here? It's like he's literally not doing any damage. Are you seeing this? He's look at that. He's doing no damage. He's just chewing through the shields. He popped off like 5 times in a row, and he killed himself against the shields. That's such a bad thing. Oh my gosh, this game! I swear it's broken. Oh, it's just so broken. And of course, if you don't know, that's Pangtong's ability too. So reflected damage does 40% extra. So interesting. Definitely think he's really just a utility hero for the passive. When he gets to 7-star, I'd say he's going to do a lot more. But until that time, I don't think he's really worthwhile building. I'm going to say that. I think if you are running SHU Nation and you can watch this, a lot of other heroes aren't building him. A lot of other heroes are using other things as alternatives. If you have built him, of course, stick him in there for his passive abilities. But ultimately, I don't really see him as a huge breakthrough for this nation. Not like Big Mama. Big Mama, 110%. I'm curious to test out Hao Zhao and Zhen Shi, but I have a feeling that Hao Tao is going to be a bit of a monster because of his abilities. But yeah, like we can skip ahead. I think we lost that one. We did. But of course, as you can see, Dragon up there. Pang Tong in slot 1 did 2 billion, 202 billion. Pang Tong in slot 6 did less damage, took more damage though. Of course, he did revive. Pretty stock standard. My impressions, he's an average hero. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification button. Jump into our link in the Discord in the description field. I will see the OGs in the comment section, but let me know. Are you impressed with Pangtong? If you are, how would you run them? Because ultimately, I'd love to know. I know that there are a lot of people that play the Korean and Chinese servers, so there are going to be some better artifacts that come out. Potentially ones that are a little bit more suited for this hero. I would say that no index. I will say that this one, the Yin and Yang, if I can scroll that far, I think the Yin and Yang is pretty much designed for the Generation 6 because it is a very support based artifact. I can see that being some pretty versatile. But again, that begs to differ. Like at that stage, you pretty much are mandatory to build them anyway. And we haven't even built the freaking Sky Piercer halberds yet, so we're all a little bit behind the whole meta in terms of that if you are a free-to-play light spender. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you hit that like. I will see you all. If you see me on Facebook, don't be afraid to add me as a friend and say hello there. But until next time, thank you very much, God of War.